Universal Studios. Make some noise! How you guys doing tonight? I want to welcome all the Harry Potter fans in the house tonight. We've got an exciting evening planned for all of you out there. Some of your favorite Harry Potter stars are right here in this room. That's right, I thought you'd like that. But first, before we get started, I see a lot of you are representing your houses right now. Make some noise if you're Gryffindor out in the house. Where's my Ravenclaws? What about Hufflepuff? Now, I know we got some Slytherin out there. Now, we got a lot of wizards in the house tonight, but do we have any muggles out there? Anybody? Representing way back. All right, now, like I said, we have a very magical evening planned for you guys. You know what? Let's go ahead and start this show off with a quick look back at some of the stuff that's come from the Harry Potter movies, some of the amazing stuff, from the best-selling books to the award-winning movies to the immersive theme parks that you're actually in right now. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right now.
I wondered when I'd be seeing you, Mr. Potter.
While you're here, your house will be like your family.
Come, we've saved you a seat.
Mr. Potter will always be around to save the day.
Mr. Potter, our new celebrity.
It gives me great pleasure to welcome each and every one of you.
You three had best be looking after yourselves.
Fight back! You coward, fight back!
Well done, everyone. Great work.
Harry. Harry is the best hope we have.
Why is it when something happens, it is always you three?
Believe me, Professor, I've been asking myself the same question for 6 years.
The digital generation will be able to enjoy a safe, unique online reading experience built around the Harry Potter books. Pottermore will be the place where fans of any age can share, participate in, and rediscover the stories.
That was bloody brilliant.
You're a wizard, Harry.
Harry Potter, such an honor! Expecto Patronum!
13 years it's been. Here you stand before me.
I'm not weak.
Prove it. Control your emotions.
This is it.
Take my hand.
Don't you understand? I have to do this.
I must be the one to kill Harry Potter.
journey it's been so far. I mean, that was like looking at a pin sieve of Harry Potter's memories. Am I right? So I'll tell you what, let's get this party started right now. We're going to start at the very beginning, the Harry Potter books. Now, what was the first book that came out? That's right. Can you believe that it has been 15 years since that book came out? 15 years. And you know what? During the anniversary, we actually decided, Scholastic decided they were going to re-release the books with a brand new cover art. And our next guest is actually the one who did all that. It's the one and only Kazuo Kibuishi. Now, Kazuo is an Eisner-nominated artist and author and a longtime Harry Potter fan who was recently chosen by Scholastic to reimagine the covers of all 7 Harry Potter books. Now, as you can see right back there, each of the covers depicts a distinct and memorable moment from the respective book that they're a part of. And he also designed the back covers and the spines so they could put them together in a box set, which is really awesome. Now, Kazuo said the opportunity was more than a little surreal. I want you guys to put your hands together and make some noise for the one and only Kazuo Kibuishi! Kazuo? Good to see you, brother. Have a seat right there. You guys excited? Now, Kazuo, we're glad to have you here, man. How's it been so far?
Great. Yeah, cartoonists don't usually get to do this.
That's true. You're usually behind the scenes.
This is, yeah, I'm usually hiding out somewhere in the back, so.
It's going to be different not using your hands.
A little bit different.
All right, well, we got a few questions to ask you, and I'm sure all you guys out there want to know some of this stuff. Now, I got to ask you, it's a big deal getting to do the cover art for the books, especially redoing them after they've been out, and you've got the fans out there who know the stories inside and out, know everything about it. What was your reaction when Scholastic, hey, we want you to do this? How did you react?
Well, when I was initially asked to do it, I actually, I was really hesitant because I liked the original covers so much that I didn't feel that anybody should touch them. But when I thought about it, I realized it had been a while, and the readers of my book series, The Amulet, were actually too young to have read the books back when they came out. And I realized, oh, hey, this is a great opportunity to introduce the books to a new generation of readers, because it's been with us for so long. And so then I, submitted some copies of what I would do, and they chose them. And to be honest, yeah, when I was told I got it, I did just quietly in my chair, just go, yeah,
did a little bit.
Yes, yes. And then I was like,
in your face.
Oh man, this is going to be a lot of responsibility. So it quickly went from being yeah to oh no, and everyone's going to hate me.
You guys loved them, right? Exact opposites. Now I got to ask you. Now we're talking about those. Where did you get the inspiration for that? Like, you're talking about the fans and how the books had already been there. It's got to be a huge responsibility to come up with different inspirations for each of those books. How did you choose the cover that you chose?
All right, so here's a crazy story. I actually got sick and I was in a coma around the time they made the selection for the cover art, and I was recovering, and I had short-term memory loss. So if I read something, I would just forget it. But my long-term memory stayed with me. And I still remembered having read the books, and the books had an indelible impression on me, just as it has on all the generation of readers that have read it. And those memories were strong enough that I just remembered a few key moments from the book, and that's what I ended up illustrating. So luckily, my long-term memory didn't go away.
And did you get your phone call before or after the coma?
Oh no, that was afterwards. Yeah.
So it was like, yeah.
Yeah, I was asked to submit the sketches before, and then I came out of the hospital and I forgot everything. And I was just, I had to teach myself to draw again. I had to teach myself how to walk. I couldn't even remember what shoes I was wearing.
So you worked on these afterwards, after you retire yourself?
Yeah, I was actually working on these while I was recovering from the event, but.
I've never gone through any of that, and I can't draw like that.
But the drawing skills didn't go away. All the long-term stuff still stayed with me, and the editors and everybody were really great at, helping me with any of the details if I had them wrong, but I didn't actually get too many details wrong. And so, you know, it actually ended up being kind of a good thing that I had to rely on that strong, I had to key in on those strong emotional
Specific
memories
moments.
that I had just been buried in my brain so deep that I wouldn't forget them. And so, as an author, as an illustrator, I always feel like my job is actually to illustrate and to tell stories that become memories. So this became a perfect exercise to do something like that, to create new memories
That's great.
from old ones.
Now, you were saying earlier that you were worried when, I mean, you were excited when you found out, but then you were also
Yeah.
worried about the reaction when you redid the covers. How's the fan response been to it so far?
Oh, the fan response has been so positive. I'm really lucky. Well, I'm lucky because the fan base is so great. You know, I'm working with a fan base that is so accepting and they're so excited about Harry Potter and the world. I felt like you know, everyone sort of brought me into the fold very quickly, and I felt at home.
Now, did you feel any certain pressure when working on the covers that focus on the story, or were you influenced more by the popularity of Harry Potter?
I tried to stay away from a lot of the popular interpretations of the series. Those aren't going to leave our minds. I know everyone had those at the back of their minds. Because I had this feeling that I was supposed to introduce the books to readers who had never read the books before. I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that there's some people who haven't read them, you know. But the readers of my books,
I get a
were
show of
too young.
hands.
Who's read the books?
Who hasn't?
Who hasn't read the book? Yeah, so I saw it as a way to introduce these adventures to new readers, and especially to the young readers who were just starting to learning to read through the books that I normally do. I knew that it takes a lot to get someone to be interested in a series, and it's going to take more than somebody just saying, "Hey, that's a good book."
Right.
And so I wanted to show a snapshot, like a window of the world that they'd be experiencing. And I figured it doesn't matter if you know the stories or not. You could look at that and go, "That looks interesting. I want to dive into that world." And that's the way I ended up. That's the approach that I took when I illustrated the covers.
No, I mean, it definitely translates. So I'm going to know, how many of you guys out there read the book for the first time with these new covers, with the re-release? Anybody? You guys read it all from the beginning.
They just came out.
Did you guys go back and get the re-release?
Hey!
There you go.
Thanks, guys.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, Kazu, that's all the time we've got right now. It's been great having you. Now, I hear you're going to be around the expo, am I right? Doing some signings?
Oh yeah, I'll be at the event, and I'll be signing at the table, I think.
Excellent. Well,
I think so.
we look forward to seeing you there, Kazoo. Thanks for coming out here, man.
thanks
Ladies and gentlemen,
thanks
give it
for
up one
having
more
me.
time for Kazoo Kibarishi. I'll take that. You can take it with you if you want. Just take them all, it's fine. Give it up one more time. Now, I'll tell you what, let's do a little trivia right now. How many of you guys know that Professor McGonagall was almost sorted into Ravenclaw? Raise your hand, let me see. Clearly all my Ravenclaws out there. What about Phileas Fitwick? Did you know that he was almost sorted into Gryffindor? Anybody? They're like, no. How many of you guys are on Pottermore? Well, see, that's the thing. You wouldn't know that from the films or even the books, but if you visited Pottermore.com, you know that both teachers were hat stalls when they tried the sorting hat. Now, how many of you guys have been sorted on Pottermore? Were you happy with your sort? Good. Now, the sorting ceremony on Pottermore.com was actually devised by J.K. Rowling herself, and it's the only place to get officially sorted. So if you haven't done it yet, make sure you check that out. But you know what? We're going to do some house pride right now. I want you guys yelling out your houses on the count of 3 as loud as you possibly can. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. One more time. All right. You guys ready to meet a few of the Harry Potter cast members? Yeah, I thought you'd say that. All right, let's get this party started. Ladies, get ready. From awkward and unlucky to brave and heroic, we followed him since his first fumbling days at Hogwarts to his last heroic stand against evil. Played by our next guest, Neville Longbottom, won our hearts, and maybe the hearts of a special Ravenclaw. As Harry Potter's friend and Dumbledore Army member, please welcome to the panel, Matthew Lewis! Have a seat right there. I think that's for you. Hello. All right, it doesn't stop there. We're still going. Now, for precocious pranksters to entertaining entrepreneurs, we follow these two since Harry's first day at Hogwarts. They play the comedic cornerstone of the Weasley family, Fred and George Weasley. Please help me welcome to the stage, James and Oliver Phelps. We're still going. There's more. Now, we first met her in Harry Potter, the Order of the Phoenix, as a quirky, quality Ravenclaw, Luna Lovegood. Her real-life Harry Potter knowledge could certainly rival any of the fans in this room. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Ivana Lynch. We'll do that, yeah. Next up, he's known for his explosive presence in the series. He lit up the screen for us as Harry's fellow Gryffindor bunkmate, Seamus Finnegan. Please welcome to the stage, Devin Murray! And last but not least, he's an Order of the Phoenix member. He's a Ministry of Magic employee. Electric plug collector. These are just some of the terms one could use to describe our next guest on-screen character, Arthur Weasley. But it's safe to say that his performance made everyone wish they were part of the Weasley family. Please join together in welcoming Mark Williams to the stage. Welcome. What do you guys think? Guys, we're glad you're here. How's your day been so far? Pretty good? A little cold for Florida? All right, now, we know we have the best Harry Potter fans in the house, am I right? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some trivia. We're gonna ask you guys some questions based on some of our favorite clips starring you guys. What do you guys think about that? We're gonna show some clips. Then we're gonna ask you questions about those. We're actually gonna start with you, Matt. You're up first. Are you guys okay with that? Just making sure. Matt, let's go and take a look at your clip.
Doesn't matter that Harry's gone.
Stand down, Neville.
People die every day. Friends. Family. Yeah. We lost Harry tonight. He's still with us. In here. So's Fred. Remus. Tonks. All of them. They didn't die in vain. But you will. Because you're wrong. Harry's heart did beat for us. For all of us. It's not over.
Now, do you have the sword with you?
No, they won't give me it.
Oh.
I tried.
Oh, that would have been the first thing. All right, so we've got 5 questions based on just random questions that we got around. And the first one is, how are you feeling when you read that you would personally destroy Nagini? And what was it like to see that scene fully realized? Like when you were, from the difference from when you read it and when you actually were there?
Yeah, wow. I remember reading the book very vividly and getting to that section of the story and just thinking, wow, that is going to be incredible. And what a responsibility that Joe Rowling has laid, on me there. So,
What did you say?
I don't think J.K. Rowling wrote the limping, did she?
I think I just got injured playing football or something like a week before. I had to just write it in myself. But there's like 4 stages. So like you read it in the book, and then you think, is it going to be in the script? Are we ever even going to film it? And then finally, is it going to make the final cut? And thankfully, it got through all 4 of those stages, and yeah, it was incredible. I never expected anything like that to happen to Neville. So it was pretty special. It was a really nice moment for.
It's a very full circle moment for you.
Yeah, exactly. It's the culmination of his entire journey. It's Neville's moment, and it was really great. I'm so glad that David took the time to really nail that scene.
It's great to see. Now, I got to tell you, I mean, even just when you came out from your picture there and seeing you there, obviously, your character Neville did a lot of growing up in those movies. Now, I'm gonna ask you, what was it like growing up on the set?
Wow. I mean, we had such a laugh. Like everyone had such a good time together on those films. We sort of lived like 2 lives, like our lives back home where we lived, and then this ridiculous life where we made Harry Potter films for a living. And we did all our schooling there, like together in the same classrooms, and it was a real family atmosphere. Everyone, with one of our teachers over there,
and getting to work with him.
Apart from when you were all about 14 and 15, where you used to sit off set on your Blackberries and stuff, just going like, you go, hello, hiya, and you'd all go,
I still do that now.
Sure, it's even worse. Now, all right, I gotta ask you. Now in the books you became a herbology professor. If you had a choice, which Hogwarts class would you teach? Not Neville, you.
Well, it's got to be Defense Against the Dark Arts, isn't it? That's the best class. Like that's the class that I'd most like to attend, and I think like Professor Lupin was like my favourite teacher. So yeah. So I think yeah, Defense Against the Dark Arts definitely.
Excellent. Now, what was your first scene that you filmed, and what was the last scene you filmed in the movie?
Oh, jeez.
Think back.
Oh no, okay, yeah. The first scene I did was when Neville got on the broomstick in the very first movie, and it all went wrong and flew around. And I was like, 11 years old, absolutely terrified. And Chris Columbus sort of took me aside and went, "No pressure, but this scene's all about you." And I was like, "Cheers, Chris."
You're like, thanks.
So awesome. That was a sort of in at the deep end start for me, but it was great, doing all those kinds of stunts when you're 11 years old, like being on a roller coaster. It was so much fun, and then my final scene was all that kind of stuff. And the actual final scene that I did was on the courtyard, and I remember, well, you weren't there.
Spoiler.
He was only having a big sleep.
Everyone else was there. Too soon? But yeah, that was it. It was a great finish, to do that scene last, for that whole moment for Neville, and to go out on that high was really cool.
That's awesome. Now, last question. Now, the scene where Neville did the Snape in grandmother clothes boggart. Can you tell us what your boggart would actually be?
I don't know. I'm pretty scared of spiders. Like, I know it's kind of a cliche, but it's
not.
They are the single most terrifying thing on the earth. They just, there's times in my house, because I live in quite an old house, and there's lots of little holes and dark places where they can hide, and they've trapped me in my kitchen for hours before.
I've been there.
And they smell fear. They know.
Do you know those photos online where it shows like the person like, oh gosh, a spider, and then all of a sudden it shows a house blowing up? And it's like all good.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. I've got baseball bat, samurai sword. I'll get anything I can just grab to try and take care of it. But they terrify me, man.
Do you have a samurai sword in your house?
Yeah, man.
He just doesn't have the other one. He's just a samurai. All right, Matthew, that's all the questions I got for you right now. James. You're next. Let's go and take a look at your clip.
We've done it. Cooked it up just this morning.
It's not going to work.
Oh, yeah? And why is that, Granger?
You see this? This is an age line. Dumbledore drew it himself.
So?
So, a genius like Dumbledore couldn't possibly be fooled by a dodge as pathetically dim-witted as an aging potion.
No, but that's why it's so brilliant. Because it's so pathetically dim-witted.
Ready, Fred? Ready, George?
Bottom, sir.
Yes! Ready? Yes!
That was pretty much a typical scene for you guys. Now I'm gonna ask you, now Fred and George were known to be notorious pranksters in the movies. Did you pull any pranks of your own during the films?
A couple, yes.
What was your favorites?
Some we can't say for legal reasons.
Let's go with the ones you can.
Those we can. I can't, actually, one we did on Matt once, I don't know if you can remember it or not. Matt fell asleep in front of a TV in one of the dressing rooms, which we just happened to be playing Battlefield on. It's like a computer game where you shoot people. So he turned the volume up to 100% and fired a few rounds off. It's quite entertaining.
He was like this. Now, what was your reaction when you were reading the script and you found out about Fred in the final book? He already called him out. He was already out there.
Before I answer this is a spoiler alert for anyone who's not seen or read the last one.
I showed up that day, they're like, you're not going to be in it anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I actually, when I first read it, I was in Japan, I was doing some traveling. I was on the bullet train. And I literally read what happened to Fred, and I was a bit like, oh, like, without getting too dramatic or anything, it was like reading that your best friend had been killed. It was quite a surreal moment, which that feeling surprised me even more than reading what it was. So I think that's only when you realise how much it means that to someone. So I'm kind of a bit somber. I'm like, oh wow. As I'm doing that, the ticket inspector came round. I don't speak Japanese, he didn't speak English, but I was trying to like, I've just died here, excuse me a minute.
He's like, ticket.
Yeah,
like,
ticket,
no,
ticket.
I'm
Like,
dead. You don't understand. You can get your ticket later. Now, we know that Harry Potter has the most dedicated fans out of any film series out there. Now, do you have any very memorable moments with the fans throughout this entire thing? What was your most memorable moment?
There's been so many, I've got to be honest. So many from the...
She's like, us!
Us, yeah, well, I was getting to that.
You cut him off, he was going there.
I remember the first scene we did, we were in... I just saw my head there.
Those look pretty good from out there.
Yeah,
now you're just multiplying.
I remember the final premiere that we had in Leicester Square in London. That was apparently the biggest premiere in history, which we thought, you know, that one, nothing like this will ever be seen. And then we came here for the grand opening a few years ago. And yeah, I mean, some of you guys may have been there. And
MegaCon.
There they go.
So, like, MegaCon was more recent.
That was more recent.
We just took photos with you, remember?
So Oliver and I were doing press in the morning. So we were there before sunrise, and you could see like a little silhouette. And then as the sun came up, you just saw the people get further and further and further. And I think it was about 3 or 4 miles stretch. Wow. So, I mean, if people say like, what the fan base to, I mean, and also the fans are very respectful of our own privacy as well, which is really great. And just everyone's very friendly and very supportive. So thank you so much, guys. Really do appreciate it.
Nicely done. Now I gotta know, working on the films, which of the directors influenced you the most?
Yeah, thanks. Dave, they all have, to be honest with you. I mean, Chris Columbus gave us our big break straight away. Alfonso kind of got us really into the characters, even so much so when the Marauders map scene, he kind of helped the characters kind of cut each other up and really flow with each other, develop. And then Mike Newell was just a hell of a good guy to work with, very funny. He allowed me to keep my long hair, as you saw in that movie. And yeah, and then David, for the last couple, he, again, really got you on the emotional side of the character. So I think I can't really answer just one particular director. They've all been fantastic.
That's great. Last question. This was actually a Harry Potter question. So I gotta know, if you could cast any spell, which one would it be? Think about it.
It's not really a spell, it's just something that's in it. And it would be a port key. Like, I'm sure you guys have all been stuck at immigration in this country, right? It takes ages, so, and the flight as well. So, I mean, then I could just pop back and forth as much as I want.
There you go. I like it. James, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Oliver, you're up next. Let's see your clip.
Morning.
One word.
I like it. It's like, wait a minute, that's, oh, okay. Now, I'm looking at you guys right now, and I gotta say, when you guys had your hair longer, I don't know if I could have told you guys apart. Did you guys ever switch places on set? Did you ever switch places and try to do each other's scenes to mess with everybody?
It's a really boring answer, but no. I can remember I think it was the Chamber of Secrets on a long Grey Hall shoot in a rehearsal we may have done, thinking, oh, aren't we naughty? You couldn't tell the difference. The only time we actually had to swap over was because James came down with a cold when we were filming, and I was in Chamber of Secrets as well. And Harry's leaving a homework session, and as he's leaving, and everyone thinks he's the heir of Slytherin at the time, so people are talking behind his back. And in the reversal shot, I was sitting next to James, but for the split side, James wasn't there, so my double was where I was, and I had to move where James was. So if you pause it, you can see there's only one of us there.
Just for a little bit.
That was the only time.
That's close enough. That's good. I like that. Now, what was your favorite scene to film?
In
any of the films? You can choose any
They're all
one.
pretty. I mean, that scene we just saw there was pretty cool because I just thought, what a horrible, horrible brother to do that. But I'm sure everyone would do that. But also the World Cup scene as well when we did that. That was really cool. I think because we could just be ourselves at a football game, you know, shouting, "Come on!" and you know, really getting into it.
That was fun as well, because it was really like, you know, Dad taking the sons to see the sports teams play, so that was a really good time.
Yeah.
Didn't mean to interrupt you.
The flying was great though, wasn't it? You remember that day when we had
on the
yeah, we with the Kirby wire
harnesses.
flying, and and it's stunt guys on great big steel drums winding you like this. And there's two sets of drums, the drums to take you up and then the drums to take, and it was the length. It's back to those lights behind there, and they wind us up and then whap. I liked it.
That's actually good, because, you know, the Quidditch scenes were awesome. What was it like when you were filming them, and was there any cool moments that happened?
I mean, the main thing with Quidditch is that how the films evolved, so did the filming of Quidditch. Even to the point where we'd start filming on the first film, and it would be a small little bicycle saddle on the broomstick. And then by the end of it, it was this huge, almost like a horse riding saddle. So it became a lot more comfortable. But actually filming it was, it would be on a large track, and you could be anywhere from, you know, a couple of feet to quite high off the ground, and just go for it all around there. And there was some cool parts from that Quidditch sequence. But I mean, I think it's more interesting watching it than it was filming it, because after a while it did get a bit repetitive and everything else, but it was still, I mean, everyone wants to fly, right? So it was the nearest bit.
Can't beat that, man. Now, if you were given the chance to avoid traffic, say you were on the way here, there's too many cars, you're like, listen, I need another option. Would you choose the Nimbus 2000, the Apparition, or the Flying Ford Anglia? Which one would you choose?
I wouldn't choose a Ford Anglia, mainly because when we were filming, no, but for the main reason that when we were filming, we had Hagrid in the back with us, and it all looks cute and everything, but owls go to the toilet quite often.
And it was the hottest day of the year.
From experience.
And this owl had obviously eaten quite a lot. He was flapping his wings, so the whole back of the car was just covered in bird mess.
Did it get you?
It may have been, yeah. Another reason I wouldn't get in a Ford Anglia again. But yeah, so I'd probably go for the Nimbus 2000. Was it a 2000 or 2001?
Either one.
Maybe
2001?
Maybe a 2000.
2000?
I mean, the Fireball would have been better, I think, yeah. But yeah, so a broomstick, I think, because you could go a lot quicker, and it's easy to park as well.
Yeah, and it's just you. You don't have to worry about anybody else. Now I gotta know, what would your Patronus be if you had to choose one?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It would be
just you.
Just me, Oliver, or me?
Just you, Oliver. You say his brother?
Are you saying I'm scary? Is that the? It would probably be like a panda. Yeah, just like
I like it.
Obviously like Harry has one. It's this big stack. I'm a bit chilled back like that, so it'd probably just be
just kind of sits there and
just
goes,
like sitting there with a bamboo stick. Dementors going everywhere, and he's just
not like super intimidating, but just there, like you know it's
and then
there.
And then like every now and then you do it, and he'll just be asleep.
No, get up and do. Come on. All right, Oliver, that's all I got for you, man.
Thanks.
Ivana. Let's go ahead and take a look at your clip.
You're not going mad. I can see them too. You're just as sane as I am.
Everyone says Luna Lovegood. What an interesting necklace. It's a charm, actually.
Keeps away the narwhals.
It worked. Well, I got some questions for you. Now, we've heard that you had a really unique casting experience for the movies. Can you share any of that story with us?
Yeah, well, that was, I mean, I would never be where I am today if I hadn't been a huge Harry Potter fan to start with. I think everyone knows that. I don't make it a secret. But yeah, I really, really wanted to play that part. Because I'd read, I started reading them when I was 8, and I knew about Luna's character, and I knew she was coming up, and I was keeping an eye. I was like a big fan of the films already. So I used to go on all the Harry Potter websites, MuggleNet, I should give them a shout out. I used to go on MuggleNet every day just for news, and one day there was an announcement for an open casting for Luna. I was like, that's me, that was my ticket. So, and I lived in Ireland, I'm from Ireland, and it was in London, so I kind of had to beg my parents, and my mom didn't want me to go because I had school, and my dad, who's here, hi Dad, he took me. He said, "Oh, let's give it a shot." And yeah, so it was a big open audition. Basically, anyone could go. There was.
How many people do you think were there?
What?
How many people do you think were at that open audition?
Well, they said 15,000, but that's a scary number. I think I don't know. Yeah, they said that, and apparently 3 boys turned up to the audition. Fair play.
Was it these guys?
Yeah, these 2 in wigs. Yeah, and I had that. It was on a Saturday. It was actually January, and Dad actually he does that every January. He's here, so he didn't do it this time. But he sends me a text, and he goes, 6 years ago to this day, and he'll give the whole story.
And the moral of that story is make sure you got a good dad.
Spoken by a good one.
Yeah. And then a week later I had a screen test, and that was it. It happened really fast. It happened within 2 weeks.
Now, did you go back and be like, Dad, thank you? Thank you.
Yes, I did.
Definitely
he
paid
took
off.
out of it too. He always does that. We were walking around, we went to the NASA Space Center the other day, and he still does this. He turns around, because we get into places now. Harry Potter just opens doors. He turned around, he's like, isn't it well he landed that part? He just... So he's doing okay.
Now, you have a very special connection with your own character, but other than Luna, which character is your favorite?
That's a good question. Probably Dumbledore.
Albus, I like it.
He's just wise and quirky and has great dress sense. And I just always took a lot. Every time he comes into the books, or like the scene, like in book and movie, you just kind of go, oh, it's gonna be okay now. Dumbledore's here. Except until book 6. Book 6 ruined it, but I don't know. He always made me feel safe, and I trusted him. Yeah.
That's cool. Now, you said you were a fan. You're not being in the movies. If you weren't acting in the films, would you have wanted to work on the production any other way, like directing or props or anything? Like, what would that be?
Actually, I did, when I was, because we were all in school at the time, and in my 4th year of school we had to do work experience in other places, and I mean, I was working on the Harry Potter films, kind of the coolest place to do work experience, so I contacted the people. I worked at the makeup department, and in the costume department, and the art department, but I think I enjoyed the costume most, because it was so much fun, and it just felt very, like it was a big part in creating the characters as well. Definitely, like for Luna, I wouldn't feel fully Luna until I put on my horseradishes and the whole shebang, you know.
Fully in character.
Yeah. Yeah, so it felt very creative and cool.
Now, knowing that you had such a huge knowledge of the books beforehand, was there anything that was in the books that you would have loved to have seen made it into the movie that didn't make it in? To any of them?
So many things. I was gutted that they cut out Dumbledore's funeral. I actually marched up to the producer's office and I was like, you can have my paycheck. If it's money, just take it. Because I mean, they gave Dobby a good send-off. I just felt it broke my heart that he didn't get a funeral. But we gave him a wand tribute. It's not the same, but still. And then I was really sad. Personally, I was sad that I didn't get to do the Quidditch match commentating because it was so cool, and it was in there at first, and we had the line hat and everything, and it got cut. But yeah, because I was never one in matches, even though it was Quidditch, I kind of nod off a bit. I don't find it that interesting, and I thought Luna would make it. Sorry, all
So
the
it was just
boys.
like football.
Sorry. Yeah, but I liked how she commentated it.
Very nice. Now, speaking of changes from the pages to screen, now we've talked about Luna and Neville's relationship during the Deathly Hallows. Now, as a fan of the books, how did you feel about that? Do you think that Luna and Neville would have made a good couple?
Yeah, that was funny, wasn't it?
Matt, you can respond to this too.
Be very careful how you answer this one.
It was a funny one because it was always, and I was always aware of the fan world, the fan fiction world, that CD world, and it was one of those things that people always thought of and they kind of wanted to happen. But normally when you change something from the books, change something in the movies from the books, people get very mad. They don't like it. It's not canon. It shouldn't be there. But this was one that actually everyone was really happy with. And I think it's just like they're both outsiders. They're both kind of they're weird and proud about it. And it just was nice. And it also kind of fit in the context of the war because everyone gets married then because they don't know if they're going to live or die. And that was cute. But I also, like that moment at the end of the film where they both go, it's a bit awkward. It's like, personally, I think Luna's too weird for Neville.
But do you think that J.K. couldn't resist matchmaking with her creations? You know, I think that towards the end of it, she couldn't help it.
This one, this here, this, yeah.
Like knitting.
She was like a mom, like matching everybody together at that point.
It was quite nice. That I think it was, you know, to see those journeys as well. You know, the characters of Neville and Luna come so far from when we first see them to when we see them in the Deathly Hallows Part 2. You know, just that one scene we just saw there. You know, Ivana's sort of introduction to Harry Potter. All the looks that sort of Neville gives her. He just thinks she's the weirdest person of all time. And yet by Deathly Hallows Part 2, you know, he's like crazy for her. So it's like, I just really like that whole journey, even if it wasn't canon. I quite like the way it is.
I noticed after it was all decided and the film was made, I don't know, because I'm weird, I still put Harry Potter posters up in my room, but I have the fifth one up in my room. And one day I was looking at it and I was like, hang on, Luna's totally checking Neville out. If you look at it, everyone else is looking really determined into camera, and Luna's like, staring at him, just checking him out.
It happens.
Listen, I'm like, I'm still doing it now. He's getting a little cold down there. He's not feeling any of the heat. Ivana, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you very much. Devin, you staying warm down there? Oh, yeah, hand warmers.
I have my hand warmers here. Sorry, totally forget
Who
my
would have thought you
microphone.
needed those in Florida, huh? Devin, let's go and take a look at your clip.
I, a rabbit, harping home, turn this water into rum. I, a rabbit, harping home.
What's Seamus trying to do to that glass of water? Turn it to rum?
I, a
How she managed to eat tea yesterday? Before...
Nailed it.
Thank you. Nothing's changed. Nothing has changed.
Oh man, that's a great. I've seen that now like 4 or 5 times. Every time I'm like, yeah.
I still haven't mastered that spell. I keep trying.
Still?
but-
We got to work on that. We'll work on that later. Now, you started work on the Harry Potter films when you were really young. What was your casting process like for the film?
My casting process was actually kind of funny because, as most people know, I'm dyslexic and I didn't read Harry Potter before my audition. So I get a phone call off my agent saying, okay, you've got to go for an audition over in the UK. So I'm thinking, sweet. So they say you're going over to meet Harry Potter. So I was like, fine, great. So we flew over, and I got to meet. When I went over, it was like, okay, so this is Harry Potter, cool. And all of a sudden I come over, and the director comes over, so I was like, hi Harry, how are you? And everybody's like, what are you talking about? This is Chris Columbus, the director. I'm like, oh, my bad. So, yeah, I met Matthew Lewis there on the same day, I think. You were going for the audition as well for Neville. So, yeah, I went there, I done the screen test, and literally 2 days later, I found out that I had the part at the read-through, which was pretty cool.
That's a pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah, it was deadly.
And here you are now. And
I'm still going strong. Just
there you go. It's the only way to be, man. Now, we know that Seamus, the character, loves to blow things up. We also heard that you held kind of a rather awesome achievement for breaking the most prop wands. How did that happen? And do you think you're similar to your character, Seamus, in any way?
Okay, well, the wands, that's all Matthew Lewis's fault again. Because in the first Harry Potter film, Neville comes in and he has the leg locker curse. And Seamus goes over and he's like, Neville, I can sort that out for you. And Neville's like, hang on there. What was the line? If I let you do it, you'll blow my bloody kneecaps up or something. And Seamus gets really, really angry. So he gets his wand and he slams it on the table, says something to Neville and then storms off. But every time I slammed the wand on the table, I broke it because they were made like, they were like really thin, so yeah. Typical thing.
I only broke one wand.
Only one?
I broke like 20 in one day doing that. But coming back to being like Seamus in real life, I'm definitely like Seamus. I'm clumsy. I blew up my microwave twice. My most
Still
recent...
blowing stuff up. That's good.
My most recent was in June. So, yeah, like I still haven't learned. How? I think that's what it is. I do miss it, of course. But to be fair, I don't actually go in there and put like something metal in it and it blows up. I'm not that stupid. I swear. The first time there was something metal in it. The second time there wasn't. I learned.
It's a good lesson to learn. Now, speaking of all the explosions, you've had a lot of them in your face. What was that like? What was it like having all those explosions in your face?
Uh-huh. It was kind of cool. It was an experience. I just see Matthew Lewis over there giggling away, and he's kind of set me off. But yeah, like it was really cool. My very first explosion was on the first movie. Now everybody else is giggling and setting me off. Cheers. Yeah, it was on the very first one, and it was with Professor Flitwick. And it was on my 13th birthday, and I done it, and it was great. What they done is they had to use like special bulbs, and they were like the old-fashioned cameras that had one flash. So they used like 20 or 30 bulbs to get the light and the explosion. So that was cool. The problem was, because they had so many and the power going into them was insane, they kept on actually blowing up. So the actual glass was smashing and flying everywhere. So that was you're kind of dodging all the shards of glass. But Seamus has blown up quite a few things. I think he had 3 proper explosions over the course of the movies.
And you're still doing it in the microwave and everything
Still
else.
the microwaves.
We're just keeping the tradition going. Now in the films, your characters generally seem to hang out with other characters from your same house. Now, did you feel a sense of loyalty to your fellow Gryffindor classmates?
On set, it was kind of everybody was just all best mates, you know. You wouldn't say, oh, I'm not going to hang out with Tom, Jamie, or anyone like that because they're in Slytherin. So, no, but when you're filming, of course, like, Seamus wouldn't have probably... No, actually, no, I think in the movie, I always thought that Seamus should have been an undercover spy for Slytherin. Yeah, I always thought that. I always thought Seamus should run back to, like, Draco Malfoy and tell him, come here, this is what they're all doing over here. It's just something that I always thought from the very beginning. Sorry?
He's writing a whole other
Irish.
book
You
over there
want to
by
let you quit?
himself.
What's that?
It's all coming out now, blowing up Slytherin's microwaves and all sorts.
That's it. They kick them out after the first week. After 3 microwaves, you're done. Now, leading into that, your character, Seamus, was Gryffindor. You, what would your house be?
For me, it would probably be Slytherin. Definitely. Like, I'm ambitious, so everything I do, like, I want to do it the best. And I think that's very much like Slytherin. As far as I'm aware, they are like, that's one of their things, isn't it? Like, yes. See? I do know stuff. Ivan is just looking
Clearly
at me
did
saying...
his research. Devin, that is all the questions I have for you. Thank you very much, man. Mark. It's your turn, man. Let's check out your clip.
And who are you? Oh, sorry, sir. I'm Harry, sir. Harry Potter. Good Lord. Are you really? Well, Ron's told us all about you, of course. When did he get here?
This morning. Your sons flew that enchanted car of yours to Surrey and back last night.
Did you really? How'd it go? Did you ever? I mean, that was very wrong indeed, boys. Very wrong of you. Now, Harry, you must know all about muggles. Tell me, what exactly is the function of a rubber duck?
Mark, how was your trip in, man? How was your trip in?
Oh, it's... Yeah, what? Here, on the aeroplane?
Yes.
Marvellous. Wonderful, you could see out and everything. Clouds, and they bring you cups of tea. No, the best thing about it is your phone's not on, so people aren't ringing you going, could you just... Can I just...
So that was me. Now I gotta ask you, the Weasleys are definitely fan favorites, the family for sure. Now what was it like playing the patriarch of the family? Did you find yourself giving fatherly advice on and off the screen?
Well, it was, well... when we were doing Goblet of Fire, everybody was in... You were all really young, and it was a laugh. So mostly it was like, shut up! Ginny, Bonnie just used to bounce around like that. Yeah. And there was a lot of sniggering, you know. So it was a lot of fun. As I said, until they all hit adolescence, when it was just like, okay.
James and Oliver, did you feel like you guys got any good advice off screen?
Yeah. Yeah, we did actually. On the last film, Mark came in and went, yeah, I found a great curry house down the road. So we went out for a curry, didn't we? And it was one of those like outside of filming, like hanging out, because we were all in the same
That
town.
was when we were in this pub. We went for a pint when they were old enough, and we went for a pint and a curry.
Just to clarify.
No, they were. It was a sort of rite of passage, you know. And we were in this, and this girl said, "Oh, can I get a photo?" And so the boys and the twins with Roops in between them, and then they said, "Oh yeah, and your dad." Oh, thanks.
I bet they were very happy to have you in that photo afterwards. Now, we've got a Twitter question for you, Mark. You are pretty much the dad that anybody would love to have. Are you like Mr. Weasley in real life?
Tragically, yes.
In what way?
I'd sort of tend towards enthusiasm as the first choice option. That's my default option. Brilliant! And sort of nosy, really. I mean, what is the function of a rubber duck? Well, amusement, clearly. Employment for rubber duck makers.
Everybody needs a job.
Yellow paint testing. I don't know.
All of those things are great.
Flotation
Cover the whole
technology. Yeah. I'll shut up now, Austin.
Now, if you were one of the students, which character would you have liked to play?
That's a very difficult question. I wouldn't answer that really, because I think of all the students as a uncle, patriarchal figure, I can see fantastic things in all of them, you know. And I used to love watching them do stuff. At one point, when Neville walks out from the lines in the last battle, and Seamus goes, "Stand down, Neville." That was just engraved on my memory. I love that, and my daughter does a great impersonation of Luna going, "There now goes Harry." And so it's all a great big rich mixture of great amusing young people's stuff.
All right, now do you have any favorite magical artifacts?
Any magical artifacts? Yeah, I do. The clock. It was just a whole image for me of the quality and care and excitement of being on a set like that, where the clock had got hands that were actually the finger pieces from scissors. They went round with a picture of each of the family in them, and you knew where they were. The great one was in mortal peril. Oh, quick! What's the... Oh, mortal peril!
All right, last question. Now, your character worked
Should have been a chorus between me and Julie, actually, though. Teddy, mortal peril!
We're just gonna do that throughout the night randomly now. Like, I just want you to pop up and say that throughout the entire night. Doesn't matter what's happening.
Mortal peril!
Nailed it. Now, we know your character worked in the Ministry of Magic. What would your wizard job be? Like, if you could get a wizarding job, what would it be?
If he does what
yours, though. Not your character, yours.
If he didn't. Hang on a minute, you confused me now. Fatally, I suspect. Austin, you have to spell that out.
I'm just here to confuse you, that's what I'm here for.
Are you saying if I wasn't in the Ministry of Magic, what would I do?
No, your character worked in the Ministry of Magic, but if you Mark, worked in there, what would your wizarding job be?
Oh, you're not interested in me, are you? Silly old... I think probably I'd like to be a... Oh no, we've got owls, haven't we? I was going to say a postman. Just bimbling around, you know, like, there you go, that's all right. There you go. Oh, go home now, have a cup of tea.
Mark, you guys have all been great. That was my last question. Do you guys have any last things to say before?
Yeah, a big thanks to everyone waiting out in the cold here.
It's great to be back, and I say that very sincerely. We flew in today, and it was like, oh, brilliant, back here.
Yeah, a load of us got messages on Twitter. You guys have been out. Some of you have been out since like 6 a.m. So, yeah. Honestly, we do really thank you so much for all your support and for being here today. And I hope you have a great weekend. And yeah, cheers.
I don't know how much more I can add on about that, but you know, as the years roll by, you always think, who are going to come to one of these things and there's going to be no one here. You know, I'm looking out at all you people, and it's still pretty special. So thank you so much for coming out. Appreciate it. Thank you.
And I want to say thanks for everything over the last, say, 14 years of my life. Everyone you've all been great, all the support, and just thanks a million for turning out for this, and hope to see us all over the weekend.
I just want to reiterate what everyone has said. It's so lovely to come back here. What Matt said, I keep expecting people to like, who are you again? Get out. And it's really nice just to be welcomed back every single time. And it does make it feel like Harry Potter is a family, and that you're part of the family, which is so nice. And I also wanted to say thank you to Warner Brothers and Universal for having us all back all the time.
Yes. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. Now we know everybody, you guys want to ask some questions, right? Well, don't forget this weekend you're going to have your chance at the Toon Amphitheater at Islands of Adventure, so make sure you're there to go see it. You guys are all going to be there, right? Excellent. Now, I know you guys probably caught the announcement about Diagon Alley, am I right? Well, if you didn't get a chance to take a look at it, here's a little bit about what you missed.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Hogsmeade at Universal Orlando Resort. Now this is where it all began, back in 2010, when Universal Orlando first brought the adventures of Harry Potter to life. And now, even more of his world is being brought to life. Today, we're going to share with you some very exciting details about Universal Orlando's newest project, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Diagon Alley. And this new area will be just as spectacular as where I'm standing right now. And I personally can't wait to experience it. I've heard it's absolutely brilliant. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm thrilled to introduce Mark Woodbury, President of Universal Creative. Now he and his team have been very hard at work on Diagon Alley, the Hogwarts Express, and so much more. So I'll pass you on to Mark, and you might see a few of my old friends knocking about also. Mark?
Thanks, Matthew, and welcome to our webcast. We have a lot of exciting news to share with you today. We are deep within the vaults of the Gringotts Bank, and this is the perfect place for today's event. Let's talk a little bit about Diagon Alley. This is going to be an all-new, magnificently themed, expansive environment, a whole new level of storytelling, and a theme park experience that is just beyond your wildest imagination. Soon, you're going to be able to walk right through London into Diagon Alley, to one of the most spectacular places you've ever seen. There's something else really unique about London and Diagon Alley. In the stories, London and Diagon Alley are a considerable distance from Hogsmeade and Hogwarts, and we wanted our guests to experience that journey. So, we decided to build Diagon Alley at Universal Studios Florida, which is right next door to Islands of Adventure, home of Hogsmeade. So soon, you're going to be able to ride the Hogwarts Express between both of these areas. It's a one-of-a-kind, two-part experience that will completely immerse you in the stories and books. Here is James Phelps, who played Fred Weasley in all the Harry Potter films. James, you made it. How are you, man?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
You had a chance to go out to Diagon Alley yesterday?
I did, yeah.
Pretty amazing, huh?
It was really cool. Although it was still a building site where we went out there, it was, it was awesome. We were just immersed in the land, and it was just mind-blowing. It really was.
Yeah. So let's go to our Senior Vice President of Creative Development, Terry Koo, who is on board the Hogwarts Express as we speak with a special guest. Terry?
Thanks, Mark. I am so excited to give everyone this first ever look inside the Hogwarts Express. We haven't shown this to anyone yet. We wanted our guests to feel just like they stepped inside this very special train from the films. And so we created it just for them. As you can see, it is just like the film in every detail. And we even added some surprises along the way that would really make this journey a fun adventure for everyone. Now, you will be able to board at either King's Cross Station or Hogsmeade Station. That's cool. And I have a special surprise for you. Hi, Ivana, how are
Good. Great to be here.
you? It's so great to have you here in the Hogwarts Express.
I know, back again. And it really feels
real, like even more real than the films to me. If that, I know that sounds weird, but like on the films we'd only have one carriage at a time, and there'd be people rocking it outside. Whereas this is the whole carriage, and yeah, it just feels very immersive and like you are on the Hogwarts Express.
Yeah, I mean, this is totally real and authentic. We wanted to make sure that every detail is represented as it was in the films, but it's complete.
Yeah.
And, you know, because Hogwarts Express played such a big part in the films, right?
It did, yeah, especially for Harry, because he's leaving behind, like symbolically and physically, he's leaving behind his life with the Dursleys. That's just sort of that old life, and he's going to Hogwarts, and it's where he sees all his friends again, which is really exciting, and like met a lot of them for the first time. I mean, I'm really excited to ride it again.
Well, we can't wait for you to ride, and we can't wait for our guests to ride it in person. Back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Ivana and Terry. We're going to be releasing a lot more information about the Hogwarts Express soon, and you are surely going to be amazed at what you see. All right, let's come back to Diagon Alley. But before we do that, let's bring Matthew Lewis back on to join James and me. Matthew, come on out. You made it.
Yeah, how you doing?
How was the trip over from Hogsmeade?
Fantastic.
Excellent.
It's a lovely train.
It's a lovely train indeed. You know, you got to ride it in the movies, and now being able to do it in real life, what's it like?
It's unbelievable. I mean, it's the attention to detail and the accuracy are just absolutely second to none. It's brilliant.
The first thing they're going to see when they come to London is the night bus. I mean, what an unbelievable thing that's going to be. A little interactive activity that happens right there, straight out of the movies. They're going to pass through the brick wall into Diagon Alley, which is going to be filled with things to explore. Have a revolutionary ride system, great shops, great food, as well as a whole bunch of surprises. Why don't you guys take them through the shops?
There's Madame Malkin's robes for all occasions.
Yep, that's where you get your Hogwarts uniforms, your books, your bags, your house. You don't get your house, the house-themed stuff, your costumes, so you can even dress like characters from the movies there.
Yeah, loads of character costumes as well.
There's also the Magical Menagerie, which is a nice little shop, which is where you can hear the sounds of all wizarding animals. So there's owls, snakes, toads, any little pets for any nice little wizard like yourself, Matt.
Thanks, man. There's Ollivanders, of course, which is you know, crammed to the rafters with shelves of wand boxes, pitching this way and that, and that was, of course, the original shop for wand purchases, so that's a separate attraction experience altogether.
Yeah. And then there's Scribblers, and Scribblers is a place to shop for your quills, your notebooks, your parchments, your diaries, so any of the young Hermiones out there, they'll love that place.
There's Wiseacres Wizarding Equipment. Now, this is a magnificent shop. It's one of the real gems of Diagon Alley, and you'll be able to get things like star charts, cauldrons, and time turners.
Then there's my favourite, which is Weasley's Wizard Wheezers, which is number 93 Diagon Alley, which boasts all the best things for all those who want to be up to no good.
You know, whether you cheer for the Holyhead Harpies, like myself, or the Chudley Cannons,
like myself,
then the only place in Diagon Alley to get your Quidditch robes, equipment, and the latest model brooms is Quality Quidditch Supplies.
An unbelievable lineup. You know, Diagon Alley is a place where the wizards not only went to shop, but they went to dine as well. So we want to bring all of that food experience to life with places like Florian's Fortescue's Ice Cream Parlor, one of Harry's favorite places. All kinds of different flavored ice cream and frozen treats. And of course, we'd be complete without the Leaky Cauldron, an incredible dining opportunity. Stuart Craig imagined this place. It's just vast and detailed and rich and have a menu of its own. So just really excited about all that that's coming. But that's not all. You wouldn't be complete to go to Diagon Alley with a peek into the dark side. So of course we have Nocturne.
Yeah, we went around Nocturne Alley yesterday, and you are fully immersed inside it. Very scary. Actually, hold Matt's hand at one point.
I know, I saw that. That was kind of weird. I was a little worried about you guys in there. But
Yeah, but it shows that the wizarding world isn't all nice. Like you know, like in the films that you see, he who must not be named. He's not exactly a nice guy.
Yeah.
And so it shows the darker side to it.
And of course, there'll be a Borgin and Burke scenario where you know people in favor of the dark side can get objects like Death Eater masks and skulls and other sinister items. But of course, you got to be strong-willed to peek your head in there. But I'm sure everybody will. And now we're getting ready to open Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. It is one of the most incredible experiences we've ever created. Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts is going to bring the movies to life. Just like you thought when you saw the pictures, you knew right away, like this was a ride waiting to happen, and we jumped all over. It's going to be a multi-sensory, multi-dimensional experience. That's one of the most exciting technological theme park attractions we have ever created. So let's have Ivana and Terry come back and join us. Hey, Ivana, how was the trip in?
What an awesome ride. This train is fantastic.
Right on. Ivana, James, Matthew, thank you very much. It's great having you here. I know the fans love having you guys here, and we certainly do. We certainly appreciate it. Thank you all for watching today. There's so much more to share with you in the coming months. We'll see you real soon. Thanks a lot.
What'd you guys think? Some pretty exciting stuff happening here, and to share some more information on it, we have Michael Doki, who is the senior show producer for Universal Creative, and Alan Gilmore, who is supervising art director and design consultant for the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley. Please put your hands together and welcome them to the stage. Gentlemen, thanks for joining us this evening. Now, have a seat right there. Have a seat. Now, what information can you share with us regarding the new expansion? Now we can't hear you. Hold on. Try it. Try it again. All right, hang on. Let's switch you out. You broke it already. Try this one. Did you blow it up? Did you blow it up?
Is this one working? Fantastic. I'm so excited for all of you. There are so many fantastic details in this new land for you to see. It's coming soon. It's coming soon. But,
Man, they're
but
hitting
I
you with the hard
guarantee you
questions.
that Alan will agree that once you pass that threshold and you enter Diagon Alley, there is magic on every street that you can interact with, that you will see, that will completely amaze you. This we know, and it's kind of fun. We are working in the land, and we're seeing all of this come together, and we're trying to figure out, okay, which element are they going to be most excited about? And it's all fantastic. I guarantee you will be amazed.
Great. Hogsmeade is great. Diagon Alley is going to be absolutely amazing. You're going to love it.
My personal favorite, and you've seen some pictures here, is Gringotts Bank. When you walk into that space, it's majestic. The marble columns, the glass ceilings, the detail that is prevalent throughout this bank is amazing. And there are other surprises that await you as well, but we can't wait for you to experience it, as well as the magic throughout the land.
They're like, we want to know what time of day. You guys excited about the opening? I think they're ready. We saw that. Now, James and Oliver, you guys have got to be exciting about opening up your store. Weasley's Wizarding Weezes, sorry. Say that 10 times fast. Now, we have some cool stuff actually behind you that we're gonna talk about. Some first time ever we're revealing these products. We're gonna talk you guys through them right now. I think we have the decoy detonator up first. Now, when you need a diversion, just drop one of these and we'll run off, create a loud bang, a terrible smell, and some black smoke. That is definitely the decoy detonator. Next, we have the Umbridge on a unicycle, which is on a prominent display at the Wizard Wheezes. This miniature Dolores Umbridge on unicycle travels aimlessly about spouting useless information, just like Dolores herself. And last, we have this nose-biting teacup. Tired of your friends stealing your tea? Serve them one of these. That'll stop that real quick. Now, I understand, James and Oliver, we have some snack boxes you guys are going to talk us through.
Yeah, can I start and say they won't make you sick unless you probably eat a lot and then go on the forbidden journey or something.
And then eat some more.
Yeah, it's kind of whenever we speak to anybody about the Weasley's Wizarding Weezes joke shop, they always say, I wish I could have a snack box. Not necessarily for, well, probably for getting out of school and stuff, but also to actually have a Skyrim snack box. And as you can see, they're pretty authentic looking. So I can't waste it. I'm strangely intrigued what the puking pasties taste like.
Also, these were, especially mine, and maybe Oliver as well, these were our favourite props from the whole movie, so I'm when we learned earlier that these were going to be available, we got very excited.
It'd be nice to see them actually in hand.
Actually edible, yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to.
Very nice. Now, so you haven't tried any of these yet?
No, we haven't, no.
Excellent. I don't have them here. We're going to have to make that happen. We're going to have to get you guys in there and let us know what you think of them when they come out here.
Definitely.
Are you guys excited about the snack boxes? I thought so. Well, you know what? Here's what we want to do. We want to open up some more questions right now. If I actually have a question for you. What do you think about the guests being able to experience the Hogwarts Express? Now, we saw you on there. You got to go through there. You got to see something that nobody out here has seen. What are your thoughts?
I think definitely like the park, it needed this because it's first time I came here, like obviously going to Hogsmeade was amazing, but I almost felt like I wasn't emotionally prepared for it. I was like, whoa, suddenly we're in Hogsmeade, you know, and you come from the land of Sinbad and it's like, what is going on? It's a bit jarring, and I think having the Hogwarts Express, it kind of takes you out of the Muggle world like the way it did for Harry, and it is like, I know like this was how it was for me and it will be for these guys and hearing the screams, that you just like get very excited and like that will help, I don't know, just bridge that gap between Muggle world and Wizard world. It really helps you immerse yourself in it, that you believe you're here, you know.
Very nice. We're all very excited about that. Now, we actually had some fans submit some questions through social media. We're going to ask those right now, and the first ones are for Alan and Michael. That's right. They were like, oh no, thought we were done. Now, I got to ask you guys, what is your role with the Wizarding World of Harry Potter?
I'll start. My role is to represent the film design team, the film production team, to help Universal bring this story to life and create this immersive environment and create this most amazing environment that's never been seen before in the theme park world. In Hogsmeade and Hogwarts, we succeeded in creating a beautiful place, but I believe in Diagon Alley we have surpassed that level of detail, and you guys are going to so love it. It's absolutely incredible. I can't wait for you to see it.
And he's done an amazing job. And my job is to make sure that Universal delivers the intent that has been created by Stuart Craig and delivered by Alan. And I can certainly say, and I hope that Alan agrees with me, that we are going to surpass, you know, everyone's expectation.
We're really, really excited. You guys have come here this weekend. We're very close to completing this project, and we are really, really excited about how it's coming together. It's beyond anything out there. You're absolutely going to love it.
Now, what can guests expect from the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley?
That's a loaded question, because there's a lot that I can reveal and a lot I can't. But
they're like, we won't tell anybody.
What I promise,
it's just between us.
What I promise is that on every street corner, or well, on every street, there will be magic. Magic that you will participate in, and magic that you will observe. It's fantastic. These are full-size. This is a city that you're walking in, and there are streets and mysteries and magic on every street corner, and you're going to be amazed.
When you pass from London through to Diagon Alley, you will be absolutely immersed. There's nothing else but you're in the world of Harry and his family and his friends and the wizards. You are absolutely and utterly immersed. It's fantastic.
Now we're going to ask, what was the creative process like to bring the Wizarding World of Harry Potter Diagon Alley about?
Well, it starts with the script. It starts with the story, and that it starts with J.K. And then the visuals are translated by Stuart Craig and directed and given to us by Alan. And our team at Universal translates these illustrative drawings and concepts into structures that can be built. And they have to be built to represent what you see in the films, what you know as Diagon Alley and these iconic figures. And that's part of my job, is to make sure that we fulfill that dream and that promise to bring to you the reality that you see in those films. and I think we've done an excellent job. Yeah.
I think that would agree. All right, thank you, Alan and Michael. Now we got some questions for you guys. I'll actually throw this out to any of you. You can choose who answers this. It doesn't have to be all of you. You can pick one. How does it feel to see the Harry Potter films that you worked on come to life at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter?
It's awesome because like I remember walking onto the sets for the first time and everyone expected me to be really overawed, and I was, but I was also like, where's the castle? I thought that it was a castle within a studio and it was kept super secret, but no, all the rooms were disconnected. Chessboard was broken and taken apart. It was actually kind of heartbreaking. So coming here, like, yes, this is how it's supposed to be. They put it together, finally. So yeah, it's totally new for us. Like walking, even the Diagon Alley is a new part. Walking from London into Diagon Alley, like that is a special experience. It was for Harry, and I think it will be for every single person who goes through the park. So yeah.
All right, well, this is going to be our last question. I'm going to give this to all of you, so I'll start with you, Matthew. What item would you most want to buy in Diagon Alley?
I fear that I'm about to steal something off you two here, but you've just absolutely, your little pitch back there of, you've inspired, I want some Skiving snack boxes. They're absolutely, it's the sort of things like, because the film's finished so long ago, just seeing them up there, reading the names, just took me back to reading the books, and I just remember it all. So that was pretty cool. So yeah, I think I'd like to get to Weasley, Wizard, Weezes and pick some of them up. Sorry if that was what you were going to buy as well.
He's coming up with another one now.
Yeah, thanks, man.
You could say the same thing.
I'm gonna go a bit sideways. I heard a Unopoo. That'd be quite fun, yeah. So,
That is a bit sideways.
I have no idea. So, Ivana, what is a Unopoo?
You created it. What are you talking about?
I know, but I was trying to explain it to Matt and I couldn't.
I don't want to. Don't do it.
Thank you very much. Right,
That's your answer. The constipation sensation that's gripping the nation. Is that what you just said?
Okay, so James wants one of those. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go with Matt, Skiving snack box, but specifically for the puking pasties.
Cat? I find cats pretty great already, so a magic one would be like 10 times cooler. I can't think of anything better.
All right. Devin?
I'm liking the snack box from the Weezys as well. That's pretty cool. I'm sorry, it's nothing crazy.
What do you think you would eat first out of it?
The puking pastilles. You just gotta try them. You know?
Keeps with the explosions. It works out.
It could be the wrong explosion.
What if you had a puking pasty and then a Unopoo? Would that be...
What's that?
Is that an idea?
We're going to make that happen.
Yeah. So we can test this out as the other one.
I feel like that's a challenge. See if we got somebody to do it already.
Yeah, there
It's
you go.
perfect. All right, guys, that is all the time we have for questions tonight. I want to thank all of our special guests for joining us on the stage. I definitely want to thank all the Harry Potter fans out there in the audience. You guys are awesome. Thank you for coming out here. We look forward to seeing you guys throughout the entire weekend. Now remember, we got a whole lot of activities planned out here. Starting with the Harry Potter Expo opens again tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., which is followed by our first Q&A session at Toon Lagoon Amphitheater at Islands Adventure at 10 a.m. I want to see everybody there. You guys going? All right, on behalf of myself, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for all of